Wow, how glam do I feel right now? Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. For those that are new here, my name is Kennedy and this is where we talk all things beauty, all things business. So today I've got quite a highly requested video. Lots of you wanted to see me do a brow lamination on myself. So I'm going to talk you through what brow lamination involves, what it actually is. There's a lot of myths around brow lamination that I hear a lot when I do my job. I often get the same questions, so I'm going to be answering a few of those as I go. If you have any more questions, make sure that you message me on my Instagrams, which I'll always leave down below and in the intro. I understand that this can be a very confusing treatment and a lot of people are like, what the hell is this? It's still fairly new, so I'm going to explain in a lot more detail and explain step by step what I'm actually doing to my eyebrows. If you like this video, please like and comment and definitely subscribe for more content. So let's get into the video. I've had to make some crazy setup today, so if you see me looking here, that's me looking in the mirror because I need to see exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so first I'm just going to cleanse the brow. I don't have any makeup on my brows at the minute because I knew I was filming this video, but if you do, then make sure all of the makeup is removed. I'm just going to run through my brows with a clean, wet cotton pad, and then I'm just going to go through with a cotton bud just to remove any oils and make sure that the brows are dry. Okay, so once I've gone through with my clean cotton pad and my cotton bud, I'm going to use the first solution. So to brow lamination, there's two solutions that you put on your brows. This is similar to a lash lift and tint. It does the same thing essentially, but the products need to be slightly different because the type of hair on your lashes and your brows is different. So the first product that you put on is designed to break down the hair, which enables you to move the hair and replace the hair the way that you want it to sit, and then the second solution will set them in that place. So I'm going to go ahead and put the first solution on. Now I use small little cotton swabs and I just comb it through. So this will always require a patch test just to check that you're not allergic to the solution. So brow lamination is also known as a brow perm, and that is because the solutions that are used are similar to that of a perm. So if you used to get a perm on your hair, it totally breaks your hair down and then you can either curl it or straighten it and it will then stay that way. So that is why it's called a brow perm. It is essentially a perm on your eyebrows, and that is why I would never ever recommend people doing this at home or using any sort of home brow lamination kit, because unless you have a professional who knows exactly how long to leave this on for, it can go really bad. I know people that have literally singed their eyebrows off because they've left it on too long. If you don't leave it on for long enough, then it's pointless and you won't see any results. So it's really important that you leave it to a professional. It's not as easy as just tinting your brows. There's a lot that can go wrong with it, and it's important that you go to someone who's properly trained. If they leave this solution on too long and they over process your brows, that means they're going to go really super curly, super tight, and they will dry, and there is no reversing that. You literally have to just live with it until your brows grow out, and that is on your face for a good 12 weeks. So I would not recommend doing this at home. So I'm just going to finish covering this. Okay, so once I've done that, I'm just going to clean the area with a clean cotton bud just to make sure that there's not too much on my skin. Okay, the next bit, cling film. So the cling film basically speeds up the process because of the heat that it creates between the skin and the brow. It makes the solution work that little bit faster. A lot of solutions vary, and some solutions will work quicker than others and they don't need the cling film. Those solutions often worry me because of what they're doing to your hair so fast. I find that a little bit dangerous. That's why I would steer clear of home lamination kits, because they work super fast. And to me that just seems a little bit dodgy. Wow, what a look. So I'll then leave this on until my hairs are not over processed, not under processed. They need to be perfectly processed. So that means that I can move the hairs to wherever I want and I can get the shape that I desire. So let's put a timer on. Wow, how glam do I feel right now? I've literally been so excited to do this because where it's been on lockdown and I've not been able to laminate any brows, I'm just itching to do it. but I am growing my brows out, so I'm not going to shape them really neat because I want them to have that really unkept bushy look, which lamination is absolutely perfect for. Lamination is perfect if you want your brows to look thicker, and it's really good for getting them to look thicker while you're still growing them out, because people are really tempted to like reach for the tweezers and really neaten up their brows all the time. But with lamination thickening them up, making them look a lot more bushy and natural, it's really easy to grow your brows out without feeling like they look like a mess. And a lot of beauticians will alternate. Some will shape the brow before they do lamination, some will do it after. I prefer to do it after, just because if I'm waxing and plucking the area and then I'm putting these solutions onto the skin, it just worries me that they're going to interfere and get into people's pores, so I leave all the shaping until after. People forget how strong these solutions are, and just watching a YouTube video or a tutorial isn't going to show you exactly how to do it at home, because you're going to be using a different product that has a totally different processing time, and there's just a lot of risks. So although I'm doing this video to show you how it's done, I'm not in no way telling you to go away and do it at home. I keep looking at myself and my little thing, and I actually can't believe I'm sat in front of a camera looking like this, but here we are. As well, another thing, lockdown is the perfect time to let your brows grow out. Honestly, lamination will work wonders on your brows if they're as grown out as possible. So if you are thinking of getting it done, make sure that you're just using this time to just not care what your eyebrows look like and let them grow out. I'm even doing the same, and my brows are quite thick as it is, but I'm just leaving them to see how big they will go if I just don't touch them. Who cares if you got a monobrow growing during lockdown? No one's going to see you, so it's fine. So I'm just going to check on these and see if they are ready. Okay, so the solution has worked its magic and is pretty much done. So I'm just going to show you how my brows look. I've still got the solution on, but can you see how I can literally manipulate them any way that I want? They are pretty much staying wherever I put them. So I'm going to go ahead and take the first solution off with a clean cotton bud. Now, a really common myth with brow lamination is that I get a lot of people say to me, oh, what if I have it done and I don't like it? And the chances of that are very slim, because people think that brow lamination, you have to come out of the salon with massive spiky brows looking like Cara Delevingne, and that is so not true. A lot of people like their brows a lot more natural, a lot of people like them a lot more fluffy. And that totally depends on what you want and what you ask your brow technician to do. I like mine just in between. I like them to look big and fluffy, but I don't like them to look absolutely crazy, but some people love that crazy look. So how it will work is your brow technician will set your brows, and for 24 hours you can't get them wet, you shouldn't brush through them, you should just leave them as they are set, because once they're set and they're set nice and straight, that then gives you the freedom to go in with your spoolie the next day and you can comb them as big or as flat as you would like. So I have clients that brush them down for work and they look like they've not even had brow lamination done, and then as soon as they want to do their makeup and get glammed up, they can give them a fluff and they will stay nice and fluffy because of the brow lamination. So I'm going to go in with the second solution, which is going to set the hairs how I want them to stay. This also neutralizes the hair, so we've just had the perming solution. This needs to coat all of the hairs really nicely, because don't want any that aren't neutralized, because they will then continue to over process. Brow lamination is really good for people who have like unruly brows like mine. They have a mind of their own. It's also really good for people that have brows that grow downwards. As soon as it reaches their arch, their hair direction is really downward facing, and brow lamination can really help to lift that. So that then gives you a much nicer arch, and it kind of lifts your whole face, because instead of the brows facing downwards, it kind of brings it all up. The shape of your brows makes such a big difference to your whole face. That's why I love this treatment, because there's so much freedom with it. You can have them super bushy, super natural. So I think mine are gonna look a little crazy today, because I'm not gonna neaten them up along the bottom. I'm gonna leave them exactly how they are, because I want them to look really grown out and natural, because I'm feeling that vibe at the minute. So essentially it is straightening your brow hair into a direction that makes it easy for you to style how you want to style. Now that doesn't mean that if you have really long eyebrows, your brow lamination is going to be up here, because your brow technician should be able to style them in a different direction, in a different angle, so that your brow lamination doesn't go directly up and out. A lot of people think, oh my god, I have really long eyebrow hair, mine is going to look absolutely ridiculous, and that is so not true. I have really long eyebrow hair too, but it just depends on how you style them and how you want them to lay. The fluffy brows should last you about 6 to 8 weeks. I normally tell my clients to rebook every 8 weeks, but the treatment will actually last you about 6 or 7 weeks. 8 weeks you'll be straight back to how you were before you came in, but it's really important to leave that gap, because if you are laminating them too much, then you're just going to end up over processing the brow. It's like you wouldn't perm your hair again and again and again, so don't do it with your brows. So I always recommend leaving that gap in between, just so that your brows stay healthy, because a lot of people say, oh, is it true it's not good for your brows? And that is true if you abuse it. If you get it done every 2 weeks, then your brows will be an absolute mess and they will dry out and they will not be good. But if you get it done every 8 weeks and you oil your brows, I always give my clients oil, and I sell bottles of oil to oil their brows to keep them moisturised. So I even condition my brows in the shower when I have brow lamination. You can do that. It's just anything to keep them nice and conditioned. If you're looking to grow your brows out, then 100% I would recommend using castor oil. It works just as well as all of the magic products out there to grow your brows and lashes. Honestly, just stick to castor oil. It's so much cheaper and it does the exact same thing. There's certain vitamins in castor oil that make the hair growth cells really healthy, which makes your hair grow a lot better and a lot quicker. So that is how the oil actually works. So don't go spending loads of money on a tub this big and this thin of some magic serum that is gonna apparently give you bushy brows overnight, because honestly it won't. Castor oil will do the exact same thing. Now, even though I'm not going to shape my brows, I'm just going to tint today. It's just to make sure that the colour of the hair is all even, and if there's any small gaps that I would like to look a little bit darker just to even things out, then the tint kind of fixes that. So I'm going to mix up my tint and I'm going to take this solution off and I will be right back. I like to tint with a flat brush because I like to make my tinting really precise. I don't really like the method of put all your tint on and then just wipe around the edges. I like to make sure it's neat from the start, but I think that's just because I'm a bit arty and I just enjoy painting the eyebrow, if I'm totally honest. I like to make sure that the line is super neat underneath, but I still like to paint in the direction of the hair just to make sure that I'm getting all of those little gaps. Okay guys, so we just had a bit of a mishap with the camera. I'm not techie at all, so it was a bit of a mare. The storage card got full, so I had to empty all of that, and then blah 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 blah. So basically I've took the tint off and I've set my brows with oil in the position that I would like them to stay. So now I will have to leave them for 24 hours. I can't get them wet. I'm not going to touch them. I'm just going to leave them to set. So here is how the brows look when they're laminated and oiled up. Personally, I love this stage. I love when they're all oily and sleek, so I oil my brows literally every day. I would recommend, if you do have brow lamination, you should oil them at least 3 times a week just to keep them nice and well conditioned, and it will stop your brows drying out, especially if you're looking to get lamination over and over again, which is perfectly safe to do as long as you look after them in between. Like any treatment, it does require aftercare. So like I said, I do have really long eyebrow hair, and if I'd laminated these a lot more straight, they would have been pretty high. I don't like mine to look that crazy, so I normally tend to flatten the top and have it fluffy at the side. So as you can see, I like to have it flat along the top and then I leave it fluffy at the side. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I know I certainly enjoyed filming it because I finally got to laminate an eyebrow again, which for me is about as exciting as my life gets at the minute. And as always, feel free to get in touch and give me any suggestions on videos that you would like to see. I hope that you're all staying safe and I will see you soon.